Imagine for a second you're driving down the road in the middle of nowhere when all of a sudden your vehicle becomes difficult to steer and you hear a flecking sound coming from one of the tires. You stop and check it out and see that you have a flat tire. Do you wait hours for a tow truck or do you change it yourself? I'm going to teach you today how to change it yourself, saving you time and money. It's not difficult to change a tire if you have the know-how and correct tools. The vehicle I'm going to use to describe this process is a 2006 Chevy Trailblazer. All the tools are located underneath the back seat on the passenger side. Simply fold up the bottom cushion and you'll see that you have a jack, an extension tool, as well as a tire iron. The spare tire is located underneath the rear of the vehicle and is accessed by opening the rear hatch. Once you've done that, you take that extension tool that was underneath your back seat. It has one square end and one flat end. Put the square end through a quarter-sized hole in the bumper about 2/3 of the way towards the passenger side. Rotate that extension tool counterclockwise and it will lower the spare to the ground. Once the spare is lowered all the way to the ground, remove it from the cable that was securing it to the vehicle. At this point, you can take all your tools as well as the spare tire over to where the flat is. Now take your tire iron and start loosening up the lug nuts that secure the wheel to the vehicle. You don't want to take them off completely, just break them loose so that they're not tight anymore. At this point, ensure that your vehicle is in park and the emergency brake is fully seated. Now take your jack and put it underneath the frame of the vehicle. There is an orange handle on it with a slot in the middle that is used for raising and lowering the jack. Rotate it clockwise to raise the jack up. Once it's raised all the way up to the frame, put your extension tool in there and put your tire iron on the other end of the extension tool to use it for leverage, and continue cranking it until the jack has raised the vehicle high enough that the flat tire is completely off the ground. Now take your tire iron and continue releasing the lug nuts that secure the wheel to the vehicle. Take them all the way off and take the flat tire off the vehicle. It might take a little bit of a hit or two to break it loose from the vehicle, but it'll come off. Once the flat tire is off the vehicle, just set it aside. Now take your spare tire and put it on in place of the flat tire. Take your lug nuts and start spinning them down as well. Use the tire iron to secure the lug nuts down until they're snug. You'll be able to tell when the wheel is not just in space anymore and it's actually seated down against the vehicle. Don't secure them down extremely tight at this point, just get them snug. Now lower the jack. You're going to rotate it counterclockwise, the orange handle, to lower the vehicle back down to the ground until it's completely out from underneath the vehicle and the full weight of the vehicle is supported by the spare tire. Now you want to put your lug nut on top. Now you want to take your tire iron, put it on your lug nut, and start cranking it down nice and tight. Get it as tight as you can. Doesn't matter which lug nut you start with either. Now the Trailblazer has 6 lug nuts, so this is an easy part of the changing the tire. Take the first lug nut that you crank down tight and go to the exact opposite lug nut across the hub and crank that one down tight too. Now go back across the wheel to one of the lug nuts that was next to the first one that you cranked down. Doesn't matter if it's left or right. Now tighten that one down and go opposite of it for the next one. Continue this process until you've done all 6 of the lug nuts. At this point you can take your flat tire, put it in the back of the vehicle because you won't be using it. You're just going to take it to the tire shop to get fixed. You can take your tools and put them away as well. Before you do that completely though, take your extension tool and raise the cable that was securing the that was securing the spare tire underneath the vehicle and raise it back up so it doesn't get caught on anything. At this point you can put the extension tool away as well. Remember, to change a tire is a very simple process once you know how. The tools are easily found and used, the spare is not difficult to remove, and swapping the flat is the easiest part of all. The best part about being able to change a tire yourself is the confidence that you'll never be stranded from a flat. The money and time saved is immeasurable as well. Now let's just hope you never have to use this skill.